Hello, my friends. We are reporting from the streets of Toronto, Canada, just across Dundas Square. And the weather is not so great. It's raining. It just started raining after we came into the streets. But we hope still have good conversation with the people about politics, about religion, and about maybe weather. Also, today is a good day to be in the streets because anti-Trump supporters in Canada, in Toronto, will gather for the meeting. And today is November 19th. So it's more than a week after the election. So the Trump will be officially president in January 20th in the States. But nevertheless, we have a lot of people, Canadians, who are vocal against him, against President-elect of America. So we'd like to find out who they are, why they're saying that, why they still want to have their voice across, push the voice across the border, and what they will want to say about all this issue. It was really very, I could say, maybe crazy year in the election, and it's kind of exciting. Some of them excited, some of them not. Of course, we have losers and winners, both sides. And also we have people who will be supporting Trump from Toronto as well. So it will be two groups come together, and hopefully we'll have maybe 3,000 to 4,000 people. Well, we don't know about the weather. Will they be scared away or not because of the rain? But we'll be there and we'll report. Okay, hello my friends. Thank you. Now we have our first interviewer, and I ask you to tell me what's your name and where you're from.
My name is Salim Al-Shamar. I am from Saudi Arabia, from North Saudi Arabia.
North Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, North Saudi Arabia.
What city?
City name Hail. It's North,
okay.
Yeah. I want to talking about the best city, the second best city in the world for me. It's Toronto. I stay in Toronto about 6 months. I learn English here. I learn about everybody culture. Then I like every place in Toronto. There is Eaton Center, second biggest mall in Toronto. There is Niagara Falls. There is Dundas Square. It's the best city for me, Toronto.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So you're studying here?
Yeah, I stay in Toronto 6 months. I study in Global Village School in the downtown. Yeah.
How long you will stay?
My course it's 1 year, 6 months in Toronto, then 6 months in Manitoba and Winnipeg.
Oh, Manitoba.
Yeah, I have course about my job, training about my job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So
really
how
good.
do you like the weather?
The weather in Canada, when I was in Toronto in winter, it's coming around minus 15. So I remember 2 days it's come to minus 30. Yeah, it's really cold. But I like the weather. It's the first time I saw snow.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, yeah, but it's really good. I love it.
All right.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about this Trump election now in America? What about the politics and about Donald Trump won the election? What do you think? As your position as, Saudi?
For Saudi, I thinking with my government thing. I can't say anything about this. Yeah. Because my government, he said everything about Trump, about America, about everything.
So they have their position?
Yeah,
okay.
But I can't say anything because my government say
whatever
everything.
it has to say.
Yeah, I am with my government, with Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know it will be supposed to be the protest today, anti-Trump protest it starts in 1 hour.
Yeah.
In Philip Norton Square here.
Yeah.
So you want to join, maybe, if you have time? To see how many people will come for and against Trump?
No, but I don't have any opinion about this one because my government, I can't say anything. I don't have time because today I will come back to Saudi Arabia. Today at 9 p.m.
9 p.m.
Yeah.
And then you come back again or no?
No, I am finished.
Oh, you're finished. That's your last day?
Yeah, this last day in Toronto.
Well, do you mind maybe to talk about religion? You okay with it, or how you feel?
No, because I am Muslim.
Yeah. I'd like to maybe ask you questions about what do you think about, Islam, about Christianity, whatever you know. Yes, you can share
I
anything.
believe about, I am Muslim, I believe about Islam.
Uh-huh.
I respect about another religion.
Oh,
That's
thank
it.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Just one question. Do you know that the Torah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
What do
know.
you think? It's good book. It's a corrupted book. It's a reliable book from your understanding.
For me, I know about Torah, but I didn't read it.
You didn't read it.
But I know.
But what do you think? It's the Jews, Yehudi. What they
I
have.
don't have any idea about this.
Yeah. Okay.
And thank you so much.
Thank you
for,
very much.
Thank you.
All the best for you
Yeah,
guys.
thank you so much.
Maybe come back again to Canada.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
about it.
Okay, my friends, now we are in the Phillips Nathan Square, right in the center of Toronto. And here it will be a rally against Trump and I think pro-Trump as well. So if you could show the crowd there a little bit, the people start gathering. And you could see, as the slogan is, love Trump's hate works, it's also love Trump's reign. So we'll see how many people in the end will come, but definitely there are people who are anxious to speak their voice, to make sure their voice is heard, and we'll hope we're going to have a nice interview, few of them. Thank you. Oh, hi. Nice weather. You want to say a couple of words?
No, I'm fine.
That's
Thank
fine.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you
No
very
problem.
much.
Hello. Nice weather. You want to say a couple of words on the camera? About the event? So, okay, please. What's your name, sir?
Nicola,
Nicholas.
Yes.
Okay. So, why are you here?
I'm just here to show support for our U.S. neighbors, and I know a lot of the election didn't turn out as a lot of them had voted for and wanted, so I just here to show support, and you're not alone, and we're not supportive of Trump's views either, but we're here for you for the next 4 years.
Okay. Thank you. Anything else you can put? No?
No, not really.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay,
I
thanks.
appreciate it. Thank you.
What are you guys reporting for?
For YouTube, bloggers. So, do you want to say a couple of words?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Please. What do you think about this event? Why are you here?
I'm here because what America does affects the world.
Yeah.
And when you have bullies and racists and sexists and bigots in charge of the most powerful country in the world, it affects what other people are given license to do. Like the hate crimes that have happened in our city this week. And I'd like to stop waking up crying every day and do something. I'd like to let Americans know that we love them and we respect them,
Yeah.
and we're here to help.
Okay. What do you think? What specifically you don't like in Trump's attitude or whatever he said?
He's a bully.
He's a bully.
He's
yeah.
a sexist. He's against everything that is fair.
It's
And
anti-immigrants.
He's anti-immigrant. He promotes attitudes that are hateful, and he celebrates them. And everyone around him and the people he's assigning to his cabinet are dangerous, and we can't take it lightly. We're a very important trading partner, and we're a very important nation to show that we care and that we can protest and stand and support our American brothers and sisters and trans,
Oh, thank you.
and
Yeah.
especially immigrants.
Well,
yeah.
what do you think? What did he say about immigrants, which are appalling to you?
Things he said about Mexicans, about Muslims. There's this notion that he and all his supporters believe that Muslim is a political ideology, that Islam. It's a beautiful, kind, loving religion that has been turned on its ass by some Orthodox people, but the majority
You
of
mean
Muslim
Orthodox Muslim people, you mean?
well, people who are militant. But there's
Okay.
militant sides
In
to,
every religion,
in every
right?
religion where people go that way, but it's a minority. It's
Okay,
a small
so
minority.
we talk about ISIS or IS.
yes.
So we have at least one group.
Yeah.
Could you name, for example, a Buddhist or Hindu militant group or Christian militant group to the same extent?
Do you know, that's a really good question, and the answer is I don't know. I know there are very right-wing Christian groups who are militant, and I know that the KKK are all self-described Christians.
So, do you
So-
think the Christians believe they are Christians?
Oh yes, yes.
So all Christians accept KKK as a Christian
Oh
organization?
no, I don't. No. I don't believe that. Not at all. Just that the Ku Klux Klan claim that they are very religious,
Yeah.
and that they are doing what they are doing in the name of their God, and that
okay.
right, and in Jesus Christ. When in fact, read the Bible. Jesus Christ was a great man of peace, right?
Indeed.
Muhammad was a great man of peace. The Buddha
Did
was a
you
great
read
man
about
of peace.
Muhammad? Anything?
I have, yes.
You have. You have. What did you read about Muhammad?
I have studied art and art history and religious studies.
Okay.
And I've read. I'm not a scholar, but I've read aspects of the Quran, particularly Sufi poetry, that
Okay.
is absolutely beautiful and inclusive.
But
and
did
in
you read
fact,
the Quran itself?
I have
you?
read sections of the Quran.
Section of the Quran. Have you read Ibn Hisham or Ibn Ishaq?
No,
you
who are
didn't.
they?
Okay, these guys are official biographers of Muhammad, so to speak. 200 years after Muhammad,
Yes.
Ibn Hisham wrote and Ibn Ishaq wrote, and we have Ibn Hisham official biography of Muhammad,
Yeah.
and it's available, of course, online. We can find it.
Right.
So it will be interesting to read it.
Are you reporting for a Muslim group?
No,
Okay.
we just report for any group, so we cannot be biased, so to
No.
speak. But I'd like to just
You
give
can,
us to the
I'm sure
viewers.
there's nobody that we will meet here on any side of this issue that doesn't want world peace. So that's
Yeah.
another reason why I'm here. Anyway,
Thank you very much. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
the time.
Okay.
Thank
bye.
you. Bye bye. Hi guys, you want to give maybe say a couple of words on the camera on the YouTube?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we're just small. It's a YouTube group
okay.
blogger. Yeah. Okay. Hi. What's your name?
My name's Annabelle.
Annabelle.
Jeremy.
Jeremy. So, what do you think about this event and why you here in this rainy day? I mean, honestly.
Well, I'm here because even though we're Canadian, I feel like because we have the right to peaceful protest, I think we should be able to show our discontent with the election and what's happened in a peaceful way, and just showing our support for those in America who also really don't like the election.
But there are some of the protesters in states are a little bit violent. What do you think? What are you going to say to them?
I think that violence is not the answer, and I think even though it's cliche, just like use your words, like be kind, don't spread more hate than there needs to be.
Yeah, that's enough hate in our
There's
time,
enough. There's
right?
enough hate. I think. Yeah. Just
What
fight
do
with
you
them.
like in Trump particularly? What it's like? What you're really appalling to you? What he said and what he stands for?
Oh my God! Everything.
I know.
There's nothing. Like I couldn't find anything positive, but just it's really appalling, especially to be a queer woman and to see him say things like "grab her by the pussy" or
Yeah, I understand.
yeah, just.
But anything else like against his policies mainly, not his
Yes.
character. What do you think about policies, which is really appalling
I
to
think
you?
they're kind of non-existent.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't
What policy you
really.
don't like, really?
I really don't like his policies on abortion. And,
Okay.
First of all, I mean, this one isn't as of a social issue, but I think for at least as for Canadians,
Yeah.
getting rid of NAFTA would really not help us, and our economy would not do so well because I
Do-
mean,
do
30%
you think?
of our trades.
Yeah. Do you think because he spoke against NAFTA, primarily talking about Mexicans, not really Canadians? I never heard he said anything about Canada being unfair to the U.S. Do you think we still will be in a problem?
I mean, I think this is the issue with Trump is he doesn't clarify anything, right? So I think had he said, I would continue free trade with Canada, just I would consider ending it
Okay.
with Mexico, that'd be a different story, but he hasn't said that, and so
We just
I don't want to
presume it. We
assume,
don't know.
I don't
Yeah,
want to
you're
assume
right.
anything, you know?
Yeah. What about immigrants? What did he say about immigrants? How you
Well,
hear
I
it?
think,
Tell me.
I think one of the problems with immigrants, I mean, he wants to essentially kick them out of the company, but it's not out of the country, sorry. But,
Immigrants? All
like
immigrants?
illegal immigrants.
Oh, illegal
Who are
immigrants.
currently
okay.
in the U.S.
Yeah, okay.
But the problem is many of them are their children are legal immigrants, and so what do you do then? Do you kick out the parents and the children stay here? And if you bring the kids back to their
But
country,
you agree with illegal immigrants who are like doing really bad stuff, they should be kicked out from states. What do you think?
Well, anyone who's doing bad stuff, like.
Well, no. If you're a citizen of the United States, you cannot be kicked out of the United
no,
States.
but you
What
would,
about?
you would be incarcerated.
Okay, so
and I think
you support that part of policy.
I support taking proper steps to deal with criminal acts, not criminal immigrants. I think it's a criminal act no matter who does it, and I think.
But does it imply that illegal immigrants already broke the law by coming into the country illegally, avoiding
They
all?
did, and that is a criminal act.
I think that the issue with illegal immigrants shows that not that there's an issue with them, but that there's an issue with the immigration system in the U.S. That so many people, like nobody comes to the U.S. Like there are so many people who come to the U.S. because there's a problem in their country and it's unsafe for them to be there. So I think that the immigration system is flawed and that being an illegal immigrant doesn't make you a bad person. And it just means that you're fleeing something that's bigger than.
Yeah, but there are how many illegal immigrants coming to U.S.? Do you know? I don't know.
I don't know a number. I don't know the
In
number.
Canada,
but
you know how many in Canada coming as immigrants?
I don't. I know it's a lot less.
250,000, I heard. But I think we're exceeding it, the number, especially with the refugees.
I do
So-
think it's a problem, but I think at the same time, just putting up blanket solutions and just kicking them all out is not going to help. I think if anything, you want to, instead of kicking them out, you want to make them citizens of the country so that they can start paying taxes and that they can start following the laws and contribute to the society that they're living in, right? Because she has a good point. A lot of these people are coming from countries where they're just starving or where
You're
there's
right.
a lot of poor conditions.
What do you think now? Can you see other side, other camp, pro-Trump camps, when they said we want to keep America the way it was before for let's say 100, 200 years, and they see in immigration, especially illegal immigration and maybe some other immigration from countries like Middle East or so, threat to the security, not only security, to the way of life in America. Because I'm an immigrant, right? I came years ago here and I love it. I don't want to go back, and I don't want Canada become country of my origin. No way. I want to keep Canadian safe and as it is. So do you think they're also threatened by globalization level or level of globalism?
I think that, quite frankly, I just think that their perception of what America was is just incorrect. I mean, the truth is they did the same thing. I mean, America was not white and European from the start. There were native people that lived there and they came in. So I think even to just assume that they have the right to claim that it's their country and that they were the first people there and that it was the way it was from the beginning is just false and ignorant, in my opinion.
So you mean like whatever country, actually Canada and America is more or less close enough with the way of life, right? So who really contributed, we're talking about 100 years or plus ago, what kind of group of politicians or religious group contributed to build this country we're living in now? What do you think?
I mean, well, each government built off of the last and the previous. So I don't think it's one person in particular. I think it's the people, right? I mean, we vote for our government, and our government is supposed to reflect our beliefs. So I think really it's just society, and our beliefs are reflected in the government, which then is reflected in the laws that are passed or the laws that are struck down, and that just continues to grow throughout.
Have you heard about Dennis Prager?
No.
He's from LA. He's quite famous in America. He's Jew. Actually, every Saturday goes to synagogue, and he said in one of his interview, I just YouTube him, Google him YouTube. So he said, the fact is, and he said, I'm a Jew, and I'm saying it to you, because America was built by evangelical Christians, not by atheists, not by Mormons, not by Muslims, not by Jews, not by Catholics, by evangelical Christians. And it seems like he looked at this issue like we've removed evangelical Christianity from the country, from America. America will collapse as it is we know now. So it will be something else. What do you think about this statement?
I mean, one of the core beliefs of our legal system in Canada and in the U.S. is the state and the government the state and religion do not mix.
Yeah.
And so I think it doesn't matter if it's Islam, Judaism, Christianity, Catholicism, whatever. The people's religious beliefs should not be influenced in our laws. I mean, that's just a basic principle. So I think even just saying Christianity and blaming Christianity is like irrelevant, because I think it's just any religion should not be mixed with the state, in my opinion. Because not everyone in the state believes that and follows that religion. So it doesn't reflect everyone's views as a whole.
Okay, what do you think what about Islam? You brought up Islam, and did you see Islam is acting slightly different than Christianity, for example? In the view of political movement, in view of influencing the governments and etc.? What do you know about it?
What do you mean? Would you mind just clarifying?
Well, we talk about, many people are speaking about anti-Sharia law, for example, or for Sharia law. What do you think about this aspect?
I think it's a really poor system, Sharia law, but it's not trying to believe. I mean, that's not really in the U.S. So the truth is Muslims in the U.S. are not advocating for Sharia law.
How many percent of the Muslims in the U.S. do you think?
I think it's like none. I mean, the truth is that's
2%.
It's not a religious issue. It's a regional issue. It's an issue on the other side of the world. So I don't think it has anything to do with the American.
So do you think maybe the Trump supporters are really afraid? They don't like that coming in Europe, especially because we have.
I think they are. I think they're afraid, but I mean, most people are afraid of something they don't understand, and I think, quite frankly, they don't have a lot of these supporters just don't have a proper.
Because I have friends from Pakistan, the Christians, and they really try to express their view against Sharia.
Yeah.
And they see even a Trump election is one of the signs for better for them rather than against them. So, and those guys are just escape persecution.
I think people tend to not even understand. They see this figure that says, I'm going to fix everything, but quite frankly, he hasn't actually given any platform as to how he's going to fix anything. I mean, he says, I'll fix it, I'll fix it, I'll fix it, but he never says how. And so I think a lot of these people are really desperate for somebody to come in and kind of swoop in and save the day, but that's just not him. I mean, he puts on a persona that it is, but it's not.
Okay, what do you think about Bernie Sanders?
I like the guy. Yeah, I like Bernie. I also like Hillary Clinton a lot.
Okay, what do you think that Bernie said that really resonate with you?
Well, I just really liked his platform of socialism.
Socialist platform. So you're a socialist, you can say that, or?
I wouldn't consider myself a socialist, but I think a lot of socialist beliefs, a lot of socialist conventions are very effective. You can see them working in many other countries, especially in Scandinavia and parts of Europe.
Soviet Union, North Korea, Cuba.
Well, no, that's communism. That's communism.
Well,
that's different.
I'm from Soviet Union originally, right? So I'm old enough. I lived there when it was still solid system.
Yeah.
And it was close enough to the Marx idea, which is socialism came from Marxism.
Yeah.
Communism went a little bit further. An idea of the Marx. Have you read the manifesto, Communist Manifesto by Marx? No? I suggest you to read. It's a very interesting document. So it basically tells about private property. It speaks against private property. It's about social community, kind of, when everything depends on the government.
Okay, yeah.
So, in the two words, economic system of socialism or communism will be, Marxism I should say, will be described in two words, which is total monopoly of one government. And it's like you have only Ford cars running, or all Toyotas. So, and we have opposite system, which is capitalism, and we have all the problems comes with when we have unemployment, we have this and that. If you have to choose from both, from these two systems, which one you're gonna?
Well, I don't know. I don't, like, I'm not trying to like disrespect the question, but I don't think it's really relevant to the issue because we don't have to choose between. There's a lot in between. I mean, socialism is in between, and quite frankly, I mean, Canada is not a pure capitalist country, and you know, like you look at the Scandinavian regions, which are socialist, and they're not a communist country. So there's several things in between that I think are much more effective, which take little parts from both sides, and I think that's really the answer.
Well, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Nice meeting you. Thank you. Are we on?
We're not close
Good.
enough,
So,
but we work together.
like that, people start coming in under the rain and see what happened. I think they have something is going on. So we'll try to come as close as we can, try to save our equipment from the rain, and see what we'll have next. Hi guys. Hello. Do you mind to say something on the YouTube channel?
Sure.
Yeah? Why are you here? Tell me.
On a freezing cold day.
Yeah, that's right.
The rain.
In November.
November raining. Yesterday, why not yesterday, guys?
That's what I was
should've-
thinking as I was walking down
It was
here. Why wasn't
plus
it
14,
yesterday?
and then suddenly it's like, yeah.
Because Trump has been spewing hatred, racism, sexism, homophobia, Islamophobia since he began his campaign.
And even before he began his campaign, he was like that. And that's what
Okay.
I think that people need to know is that he's been doing this all along. I mean, he went after the Central Park Five, the 5 young black men who had been, accused of raping a young woman, and then they were exonerated. But he still took a big ad out in the paper in the New York Times and called for the death penalty against these young boys. I mean, none of this is new. And we don't need any of this in Canada. And I think I'm here just to support people who believe in the things that I believe in.
What do you think he said against, you can label him homophobic? What do you think he said particularly against gay people?
Well, and it's just been in terms of who he's been looking at, in terms of his appointments to his cabinet.
Or just recently, not before?
Yeah, like Jeff Sessions, who
You just said
voted.
what? It was yesterday?
Yeah,
you mean?
yeah, but
So he
when-
cannot say he was homophobic before yesterday.
Well, he's not been very clear. I mean, he hasn't been clear about a lot
I
of
saw
things.
this flag.
Yeah,
He's
but that was a
Trump.
one-time thing that was held incorrectly, for one thing. And he seems very uncomfortable in going beyond sort of talking points.
But he never
about-
really accused them on
No.
homosexuals and anything. Okay.
Not
He
yet.
might
but,
think about it. You
Yeah.
think he will do
but
that?
there's also the intersectionality of, lesbians and gays, LGBT people who
Yeah.
might be Muslim, LGBT people
Okay.
who are women,
Or
LGBT
African American,
Yeah.
or Latino.
So do you think?
Usually,
yeah.
if you have a very negative mindset against one marginalized community, it's going to be spread to other areas as well, other minorities as well.
What do you think about that Islamophobia? How you can describe the term Islamophobia?
Fear and hatred of Muslims, and he's been
okay.
very clear about that.
So he's the only one who actually said radical Islamists are killing and cutting throat of innocent people, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Not the only one, but he certainly
who else said?
stirred that up. Well, his a pick for National Security Advisor said that fear of Muslims is rational.
Well, I have few people, friends from Middle East. They are Christian background and they actually fled Middle East, and they are afraid of people like ISIS. So, what do you think? Are they fear rational or irrational in that case?
Sorry?
The fear of my Christian friends who flee Middle East.
Yes.
Is it rational fear of Muslim groups who are killing them?
I don't think it's rational to fear everyone. I mean, I don't see a problem with being fearful of ISIS and fleeing for your life if you're Christians, because definitely they are targeting Christians. That's 100% for sure. But to just say that every person who's Muslim and believes in Islam
But did he ever
is all
say
the
that?
same.
You remember? Did he say that?
You know what? But he absolutely has said things like that.
He
He
said
has
it.
absolutely said things
Because I
like
remember
that.
one thing
Because
was
rounding up people and saying that we're not letting any Muslims into this country and standing behind the thinly veiled excuse of terrorism, it's a bunch of baloney and it's not true.
So you don't believe what
I
he
don't
said he
believe
meant?
anything he says about that. He's a bigot. he is a horrible racist, and it's all with these populist people. It's all about us and them. They want me to hate you because it makes their life easier. They don't have to do anything about you because I'm going to go after you, and they can just sit back and watch the show. And I don't believe in that. We're all people. We're one race. It's called the human race.
Yeah, thank you.
You're
Anything
welcome.
else?
Oh no, I'm
That's
done.
fine, you're done.
I feel better now.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Robert, where from? New York?
I live in Pennsylvania,
Pennsylvania.
but
Oh.
I'm here.
You have a grudge, right? Against
No.
Pennsylvania. How dare you?
Are you okay?
I voted for Clinton.
I'm sorry, just
You need a hug?
I do need a hug. I've actually decided to become.
let's have a hug.
From your Canadian Thank you.
Are you moving for good?
I have the option to become Canadian because my husband is Canadian.
Okay.
And I've decided that's what I'm going to do.
You filed application already?
I'm in
You're in the
the
pro-
process.
okay.
I'm
Wow.
going to file in
Well,
the
we
next
have
couple
we
weeks.
have now official American who wants to be Canadian because of situation in America.
It, it is a political decision. I had been kind of pushing my husband to move to the States. But after this, he has an accent. I'm not going to take him to the U.S. I'm afraid of what's going to happen there.
Okay, so your husband is here.
My husband is
So
here.
now we just join him rather than him join you.
I actually teach at an American university in the Middle
really?
East, in Qatar.
In Carver. Wow, that's amazing.
And my students hung black flags from the university buildings because they understand the repercussions of what it means to vote for Trump. They're afraid now. They don't believe that they're ever going to get to the United States.
Really?
They're having meetings with the university administration about how can you protect us from 60 million Trump voters, and the answer is we can't protect you.
Okay, I see what it is. Well, anything else you want to say, particularly what you don't like about Trump?
I mean, I don't like that he mocked a reporter who has a disability, that he's Islamophobic. I'm very concerned with his recent cabinet pick. Steve Bannon is a proven white supremacist, racist, even domestic abuser. His wife filed a case in court that was later dropped that he beat her. The people have come out of the woodwork. Already on my page, where I'm from in Pennsylvania, people are harassing me every time I put something up about Trump.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not everybody.
Yeah,
I mean,
but you
people are
have
divided there. But then I look at these people and I realize they have Confederate flags that they posted on their Facebook page.
In Pennsylvania.
In Pennsylvania, who maybe they forgot history, but Pennsylvania was not a part of the Confederacy.
That's interesting, yeah.
I mean, I'm just generally concerned because I'm an educator that the Republicans are going to defund public education even more than they already have, and I think this is a large problem.
Do you think that backlash, so to speak, from Trump supporters against something was going on in their eyes, which is not right for America, meaning globalization, meaning all this job loss?
I think that a large segment of the population was left behind by globalization. I mean, where I'm from in Pennsylvania, the coal mines moved out, the oil industry wrapped up in the 70s. They were gone in the 70s, and since then it's just been going downhill. And this assumption that you can have a good life as a middle-class American has just kind of been eroded. And I do see a lot of kind of poverty where I'm from. And I think that is the fault of the policymakers in Washington, that they ignored these people.
Yeah.
And this is the result. We just
Got
elected.
forgotten man?
Yeah, I mean, and they're angry, and they don't have the same opportunity, whether that was from globalization or, I think they have a little bit of responsibility too. I think, the decline where I'm from has been going on for 30, 40 years, so maybe they could have decided to leave.
You can see why Trump was popular.
You know what, I mean, I can't really see.
But you just named me a big reason.
Yeah, but the people always vote out of their own economic interests, and I think it was a protest vote in a lot of ways. I don't know whether these people believe that he's actually going to do anything for them, and time will tell that he's not going to. That they just voted against their own economic interests by voting for this supposed billionaire.
Yeah,
I mean, we don't know if he actually is.
Well, he has more than us combined.
Yeah, I mean, it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting, his wealth. And he's a pathological liar. He's a narcissist. There were, when they were doing the debates, they were comparing the different candidates. Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton lied 30% of the time. Trump lied 70% of the time. So I think the man's obsessed with power. He's obsessed with himself. He's going to do whatever it takes so he can get more power. Clearly, his company is already looking to benefit financially after this. And I really fear that the institutions we have in the U.S. aren't going to be strong enough to hold up to him. With the Republicans in power,
Majority Republicans.
Majority Republicans in the House, in the Senate. The Republicans have already proven that they're not going to stand up to a bigot and a sexist.
Do you think Republicans will stand against him in a certain way?
I think the people are going to come out against him. I think there's going to be a lot of protests. I think social unrest is going to go up. I think the people who we've picked in the cabinet are kind of inflammatory. I don't think they're going to do anything about easing tensions between the police and African American communities. And I really fear that what's going to happen. I mean, we've already seen hate crimes go up. So I feel safer in Canada. I do.
Yeah, definitely. Well, safer here, very quieter here, definitely, and 10 times less population.
Yeah.
What do you think about, for example, burning American flags by anti-Trump supporters?
By Trump supporters?
Anti-Trump supporters.
I mean, I think that's actually, there's been cases like that have gone to the Supreme Court. And I don't remember, I think maybe it's against the law, but I don't remember. Because a lot of that happened in the Vietnam War. Was the last time that happened. I mean, I don't really blame them. I feel like America let me down. I mean, they've let a large part of the population down. So I can understand why they're burning American flags.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All the
Where are
best.
you guys from? What's your media?
I'm from Azerbaijan, but
okay.
I speak Russian.
Okay.
But I'm here for 22 years.
Okay.
Enjoy every moment.
So are you part of a media organization?
Well, no. We are like a small blogger, and we're going to put on YouTube, that's all.
Okay.
But because I thought, hey, why not talk to people? Because I like to talk to people. I do.
Yeah.
So
why do people in Russia and the former USSR
I think,
Trump so much?
Yeah, I think what happened is because they see deterioration between America and Russia, especially if they see as American as a bullying Russian in many ways. You know about the Crimea and everything, so everybody talks about it.
Yeah.
So everybody thinks they're right. And again, my personal view, because I left Soviet Union, at that time it was not a Soviet Union, Azerbaijan, in 1994. So Russia at that time were very pro-American. I remember myself being anti-American in my university, going back to the pro-American, very highly thinking about Americans. And if you Google first McDonald's in Moscow, and see the pictures of people who were standing around this block, I mean in thousands, waiting for that. It was amazing. But suddenly, my hope was when I moved to Canada at that time, we have a first Chechen war, then we have a second Chechen war. And we have this, I felt like America didn't do with Russia as they did with German and Japanese. Meaning they didn't let them, give them a hand, pull out from this swarm they belong to and lift it up as partners. Like Germany and Japan are partners with America, strong allies militarily and economically. But Russia being defeated, Soviet Union, and we all cheered up because that was defeat. So we were so glad that actually America defeated us. Honestly, it was in a couple of years everything turned. And we were hoping to get fair treatment, so to speak, but somehow already been here, so I'm not sure what happens, but my presumption and my understanding of what situation that the Russians felt being let down by Americans, they looked and said, okay, we dismantled Soviet Union, and now why not dismantle Russia to the smaller parts? That's why when Chechnya happens, Americans support Chechen freedom fighters, and I think Russia took this very seriously. Then Boris Yeltsin, I thought he was a good president in the sense that he let freedom of speech, freedom of press, everything was free. but because he failed with Bill Clinton together somehow to secure Russia in the border and prosperous Russia, because there was many crises year after year, and losing the war, I mean, that was incredible for them. So many Russians, especially in the political sphere, maybe nobody heard of them before, but they thought that's enough. We have to take our country back, make Russia great again, so to speak. And that's what my understanding. And 2000, we see the Vladimir Putin coming to power and winning one war, like second war with Chechnya, and actually start rebuilding. It's questionable with capitalism or what kind of capitalism it is. But nevertheless, they see America is now split from Russia. In 1990s, it was good, almost like love relationship, and suddenly it goes in the wrong direction, and they see the Trump as one of the choice maybe for Russia, and America comes back into the better terms. I think that's why.
I think it's because they think that they can play him.
No, I don't think
weak.
so. You know what? Clinton, I think Barack Obama, he said, is very interesting. He said, how we can give, I'm paraphrasing, how we can give such a thin-skinned guy, you know, he can have a red button for nuclear. And it's funny, like, the idea is don't give them, because he could punch, he can push the button. And I think, well, I think that's the best thing. You can show everybody, all your enemies, I have a thin skin, don't threaten me. So the people automatically back up because of that. So the Trump is bully in a sense, don't play with me, I will do it.
That's not what you want America to be. America's already known as a bully.
America is a bully, yeah, definitely.
America's
But
already
also
a bully.
Trump said, I don't want to be in with NATO. I want to pull out from many places, and I want to rebuild my country, not your country, not Qatar, not Saudi
But you
Arabia.
didn't have to say it in such inflammatory terms. You can
Maybe
say
he said it,
that.
but that's what I heard. America first, so to speak. Maybe that's good policy, at least this part.
Well, it's just disturbing that the people he has on his team are known white supremacists.
Okay.
And he's supposed to be bringing the nation together, and his appointments so far have done anything but. I mean, Jeff Sessions has already been a senator from Alabama, has already been proven to be a racist, and he was in fact kept out of judgeships.
Okay.
Because of that. So the people who he's surrounding himself, I mean, he campaigned, and I think we know who he is.
Yeah, during campaign you can also find out, like you can see him going to the wrong direction, so to speak.
Oh yeah.
But do you think he has in mind to rebuild America in a better state than it is now?
You know, I don't know. You know, I think he is fundamentally a narcissist. So I think he did it for himself.
He lost his life, right?
A lot of people say, yeah. I mean, a lot of people say that he did it for revenge against Obama when Obama made fun of him.
Oh yeah, 2011, I guess, eh?
So I don't know why he did it. I mean, maybe he. I don't understand how he can be a champion of the working class America when he knows nothing about it. Nor does he know anything about policy or the Constitution. So it's very upsetting. I've been extremely angry for the past 2 weeks.
But I think we have no choice but to wait and see if he will fail or he will succeed and he will make America great again as he promised or not. And we're going to judge from that point.
Yeah, but the scary thing with that is, okay, so fine if he does make America great again, but then what about all the racism and the sexist things? Like, does that cancel those things out?
I mean, it's personal.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not just personal. I mean, he's on record for having anti-black policies, for them moving into his buildings.
But did you see this? So many blacks support him, Latinos support him, and many immigrants support him?
I don't, I mean, not the majority by far, but yeah, some did.
But I think he got more black votes than Mitt Romney did, even with his rhetoric.
That might be true, but sometimes people are single issue voters. So, they might have voted him because they don't believe in abortion and they know that there's a Supreme Court justice up and that he's going to uphold that. So, people aren't necessarily logical. Like, there can be single voter issues. And yeah, I mean, I do know other people who are Asian who voted for Trump in in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And one of the really interesting theories I heard is that the immigrants don't necessarily want it to be open to other immigrants because immigrants make them look bad, which is crazy. And maybe that's true. Maybe it's like self-protection. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't understand
Because also,
it.
as I came from the Soviet Union country, I came to Canada because I believe that Canada or America, or let's say Western Europe, is a kind of a higher level of the society, and it's a good place to live.
Right.
And for me, as I'm Canadian, now I'm Canadian, of course, but my daughter is, truly Canadian. But I want to keep Canada in the way it was before, higher level. I don't want the Canada become like a Russia or Azerbaijan or anything like that.
Right.
So I could see from Trump supporters have the same fear and the same desire to keep America as it been on the top, not be like a Pakistan or Afghanistan or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's true. And there's some data that show that the people who voted for Trump weren't necessarily destitute, but they were living in areas where there's not much social mobility. So I think it's complicated, but unfortunately we're stuck with this obnoxious New Yorker who's going to profit, who just by his own example of getting elected, shows that you don't have to have facts, you don't have to say what's true, you can manipulate people, you can get people upset. So I think the reason so fine, he's a racist and he's a bigot, but he also seems to be a threat to democracy. And that's almost...
In which way do you think?
I mean, in the U.S. you don't really have populist movements. I mean, we haven't had a populist movement since like Andrew Jackson, who was, I think, the 9th president of the United States. And so it's, foreign territory to have a politician who whips up the crowd into anger and, gets them, espouses hate. And so I think people are worried about democratic institutions being eroded because of this. I mean, things like the media, all this fake news that's coming out, people don't understand.
Fake news about what, for example?
I mean, Facebook is the main propagator where it's fake news that's written that has no basis in reality.
Like, give me one example, like really appalling example, if you remember.
Well, there's a person, I guess a city in Macedonia. In Velis, Macedonia, a kid, like a 19-year-old kid, decided to make some money by doing this fake news. I mean, you can kind of make up whatever you want, right? Say that Hillary Clinton, gave aid to ISIS. I think that's one of the examples out there.
Do you think WikiLeaks is reported accurately with all the mails and?
I mean, I think WikiLeaks didn't. They just focused on Clinton. They didn't focus on Trump. There was nothing coming out about Trump's emails, so it was against Hillary Clinton. So I don't.
Do you think it was genuine emails? Genuinely speaking about the policies?
Yeah. I mean, I think the WikiLeaks, at least, I think they have the right sources.
Do you think they should not be prosecuted? Julian Assange?
I don't know. I have really complicated feelings about that one.
Well, just apart from Clinton campaign, just for what he stands for, do you think he should be, cheered up as a leader?
I mean, transparency is good, but I don't necessarily think politics can work well with transparency. I think politics is about backdoor dealing, and that's how you make progress sometimes. And I don't know if those two things are compatible. So it's a tricky. I mean, I don't know that much about how things work, but I do feel conflicted about it. But I hope that WikiLeaks becomes equal opportunity and starts looking into Trump's materials too, and then I think that people will really know the extent of his racism and sexism.
Well, thank you very much
You're
for your time. I
welcome.
appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All the best in Canada.
Thank you very much.
See you around.
Okay, now we have Trump supporters are vocal against anti-Trump supporters, so we're going to move in.
Donald Trump. We will have a Canadian Donald Trump. We will have a Canadian Donald Trump.
Oh, that makes some kind of interesting noise.
We will have a Canadian Donald Trump. We will have a conservative nation again. You bunch of communists. You bunch of pirates. You bunch of socialists. Climb your river. Climb your river. Take it up,
I'm pissed as your cameraman, that guy with like an upside down flag that kept like hitting him in the face.
What do you think about all this stuff?
Huh?
What do you think about all this stuff?
I'm here to watch the circus. Really? No, they elected him.
Do you have a popcorn?
They elected, huh?
Do you have a popcorn with you?
Sorry?
Do you have a popcorn with you?
Popcorn? I got some whiskey.
Alright.
That's popcorn.
So what do you think Americans did last week?
I don't know. They elected him though. Like it's.
What's the point of protest for or against?
I guess it was to protest like the system and shit that was going on. See, I thought Hillary would win and Republicans would find a guy in 2020 that was a bit more refined but doing the same tactics. So I mean, I was a bit blown away that he actually won. But yeah, dude, the system's crumbling and people are pissed off.
Wow, what's going on now? We're running away?
What's your news media?
Yeah?
What's your
Vloggers?
Vloggers.
Yeah, the small thing. Not yet, maybe a little bit big like.
I went to the rally of like when Rob Ford got like accused of smoking crack. And that was a shit show of being around there. I got handed things. Hold on, let me find it. Some dude wanted me to like sign a petition for like people that like had like brain implants in them. I was the first person to sign the petition, but I'm like, yeah, to check this shit out. Hold on, no. Hold on the camera. Look at this. Yeah, this is the shit I come here for. Of like, I signed a petition to stop the government from implanting chips in people's brains.
Okay, so now there's tons of people.
Love Trump's hate! Love Trump's hate!
Definitely love Trump's reign in that kind of day. Yeah? That's interesting.
I told you we don't have to
the same worldviews. No wonder you don't agree. We already had violence already, Alex. We already had the left who don't like it, when they don't get their way, so they act violent. They act violent. So we already had a sign stolen by their group, and she's here to rebuke me, even though the violence just took place. She doesn't go and rebuke her own.
Rebuke what I don't believe in.
This is hypocrisy beyond belief.
Rebuke what I don't believe in, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Listen, we have a right to protest, so do you, and we had a conversation. We don't agree. Your worldview is different than mine. I believe in the Bible, you believe in whatever.
You don't believe
You believe that there's no God, I believe in God. And I'm going to stand for my rights, and I'm going to stand for my fundamental freedoms in Canada, and I'm going to support the king that God has raised up as per Isaiah. God says he raises up kings and he brings them down, and I believe God has been hearing the prayers of the righteous, and God has raised up Donald Trump. He's not a saint. I don't put my faith in Donald Trump, but at the end of the day, I thank God that it wasn't Hillary Clinton, who is a billion times more wicked and has no remorse in her heart. So we thank God that Donald Trump, that God had mercy on our nation as a whole, even these people who hate Donald Trump, to give them another season, a window for freedom of speech to be lifted up and the gospel to go forth within and underneath the fundamental freedoms we have in Canada and in the United States. If we had two socialist, communistic liberals like Obama, Hillary Clinton, or Justin Trudeau, who's destroying our country, saying he's for freedom, saying they're the Liberal Party, but their freedom, they want freedom from God. That's what they want, and they don't want to take no for an answer when it comes to our freedoms to stand against them. And the case in point is today, you see the behavior of the left. Whenever someone protests them or stands up them, we don't want violence. Jesus was non-violent, non-militant, so we're not for violence. We will not render violence for violence, but we want our rights to be uplifted in this country. So for those that want to hear the gospel, even the Charter of Rights and Freedom says that it affords freedom for people to hear what other people preach and say. And so they should not be shutting down freedom of speech. If they want to dress like naked at the Pride Parade, wear no clothes and strap a dildo to their body in front of little kids, which we don't agree with, you can go ahead and do that, but we're totally against it, and we're going to preach against it. And you should be, if you stand for freedom in the country you live in, you should be upholding these rights for all citizens, not just yourself. But that's what happens with the left. Tons of hypocrisy. It's like a spoiled child when they don't get their way. When they don't get their way, white views. Okay, buddy, my dad's half black. So you're racist garbage. That's all you come with, is garbage propaganda. Garbage propaganda. Make no mistake about it. The nations that forget God will be turned into hell. Make no mistake about it. Every single hedonistic nation in the past all fell, and they don't exist anymore. And guess what's going to happen to Canada if people don't stand up for what's truth? What is truth? We have feelings exalted over facts today, teaching little kids it's okay to be gay when they're prepubescent. They don't know any different. They're vulnerable. We're supposed to protect the innocent little children. We got murder and abortion going on, and the women are saying it's my body. What about the child's body? What about the baby's body? Thank God you weren't aborted. Thank God you weren't aborted. You need to think about what you're living for today, man. God is going to judge your life. God is going to judge your life. I'm trying to get you. Oh, Trump wall coming through. Think about your life. Your God is a dictator. Just like Trump. The God of your imagination.
You're talking, guys. You're talking.
Hate speech. You're the one full of hate.
Who's hate?
They're protesting against the protester wall.
This wall trumps you.
You're counter-protesting love right now. That's what you're doing.
That makes no sense. Like, you're gone.
This wall, we're standing for our freedoms. We're standing for our rights and against your bigotry. That's what we're standing against. That's right. You're speaking of yourself. You're speaking of yourself. You're the pot calling the kettle black. You're the pot calling the kettle black. You guys are the biggest hypocrites today. Look at you. God's raining on your parade today. God is raining on your parade today.
You guys are doing a great job.
God's door of mercy is only going to be open for a certain amount of time, and then you're going to perish, my friend. You're going to perish.
Nazi scum off our streets. Nazi scum off our streets. Nazi scum off our streets. Nazi
Nazi scum off our streets. 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 God keep our land. Glorious and free from leftist fascists like this. God keep our land. God keep our land. Glorious and free. Keep our land. Glorious and free. KKK! No way! 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 KKK! That fucking matters. You're just you're a racist piece of shit. That's what you are. You're just a propaganda. You know what you are? You're just a racist piece of shit. Jews didn't do shit for me. Not in my Canada. Not in my fucking country, man. No.
You're standing for a lie. There is no God.
This isn't my country, man.
God, dude.
Weapons of the system. Yeah, no. That's what you are. That's what you are.
That's red. Are you that fucking stupid? Are you that brain dead?
Very nice to see you. Yeah? No, I'm not a Christian. It's very nice to see you in this side of the country. You know, it's important to talk. I'm glad that you are ready to talk. This is very, very important. Are you with him? I am with him. No, I am with these guys. No, I'm not with these guys.
We're just making a film, yeah.
No, listen, I was born in Mexico City. And you know why I came to Canada? Because everybody's treated in the same way here. And Trump doesn't want to treat my people in the same way the other side of the world.
Trump doesn't like
the people that we are all
Trump does not believe that we're all equal.
No,
Trump has just hired a bunch of white supremacists. Did you know that Trump has just hired a bunch of white supremacists? Do you think white people are better than other people? Do you think white people are better than other people?
You think that we should all be fighting each other?
Because of the question. Do you think white people are better than other people? It is what it's about. That's the thing. That's what it's about.
There are people that are funding just fighting each other.
Stand in the middle and make
There are people that are
What do you think Trump is doing? He is funding this fighting. He is funding that for you and all your other white men.
It's not Trump, it's George Soros.
People like George Soros are funding the fighting with infighting. Not these one man.
Why did he hire Steve Bannon then? Why did he just hire Steve Bannon then?
He's a Republican. He's got to do it. He's got to hang out with these Republicans.
Steve Bannon is one of the most racist people in the U.S.
Those guys
Why the fuck did he hire him? Why the fuck?
They hate him. Republicans hated him.
No, Steve Bannon was never a Republican. He's a race-baiting news guy.
I'm on the left.
Do some research.
I'm on the left.
Read the fucking news.
In the middle.
No, I'm not the middle. I'm left wing. I'm just.
You think the media is gonna support a child rapist? You think he's gonna support? He raped a 13-year-old girl. He brags about sexually assaulting women. If someone ran up to you and grabbed your cock, how would you feel about that, buddy? How would you feel about? Answer my question. If someone you don't know ran up to you, just grabbed your cock right off the bat.
Years ago.
No, dude, he does it frequently. Yeah, bragging about it. If I brag about something, that's gonna be something that I'm damn proud of myself for doing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're a troll. Right-wing troll.
What did you just say?
I'm not even right-wing. I'm left-wing guy.
What doesn't mean anything?
I wouldn't have voted for Trump. I really wouldn't have voted for Trump. I wouldn't have voted for either of them. But you guys they're riling you guys up for a reason.
Because the reason is a good one.
Why is George Soros?
Because the media disagrees with it too.
You know who George Soros is? He's the most evil human being on the planet.
Exactly. Right, yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm not right now. I'm poor. No, I don't vote. Because they're both on the same team. I really hope Trump's not in on it with the Clintons. I really hope he's not. But he might be in on it too. And, you know.
So you're saying, oh, give Trump a chance.
Yeah, because he's not a politician.
Give Hitler a chance.
Because he's not a politician.
Let's wait and see if Hitler's going to turn out to be all right.
Why does Hitler have to come into it? You know, come on, that's
the same goon.
Why does Hitler always have to come into it for, guys?
It's a valid argument. It's all Hitler.
It's not labeling easy. When you label people, it's kind of easy.
Yeah, these people, they're all riled up. I mean, over racism and sexism and all this stuff. It's really not about that.
What about it? What do you think?
Pardon me?
Why you support Trump as you call yourself?
I don't support Trump.
Well, I mean, sorry, you are kind of, opposing these guys, and you are.
Yeah, I think they've been manipulated by the media. I think that's what it is. Like CNN, everybody, like if you watch even Saturday Night Live, it's all Clinton, pro-Clinton, and there's got to be a reason behind it. I don't know. I know Trump's funny and stuff.
So do you think America has a better turn, maybe, with Trump than with the Clintons?
I think they have a better chance with Trump than Clinton. I really do. I really, really do, because Clinton is mixed up in this group of politicians that have been just ripping us off for years, man. And it's like,
and have outsiders suddenly coming in.
Yeah, have an outsider come in, and then the Republicans, hated him. So, I mean, did this really happen? Did an outsider really get elected? I don't know.
I think what happened is, if that's true, it means democracy really worked.
Yeah, if that happened, it really worked. And this is a good thing, if that happened.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know.
Absolutely. We'll see. I think we'll have to wait.
Yeah,
And then,
these people, they want good things, and they're good people and everything, but they're just misguided.
Probably didn't see the way.
They don't see it. They don't see what's going on, really.
Well, nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you as well. Thank you.
Thanks for coming. It's on video. Just vloggers, nothing special. Small guy.
Oh yeah. Long live Putin. Long live Putin. Yeah. Long live Putin.
What do you think?
What's our names?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. No.
Yeah.
Tastiv Chaudhary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the event? What do you think about all this happens in America?
It's kind of weird how we're reacting, and I think there's a lot of problems with both Hillary supporters, Trump supporters, people on the left, people on the right. They're both problematic. It's pretty funny, interesting, and it's just all this energy. People want to be part of American politics all the time.
Make chaos great again.
Make chaos great again.
Make chaos great again.
I'm excited. I'm most excited. I'm Muslim. I'm brown. And
are you Pakistani?
I'm Bangladeshi.
Bangladeshi. Well, it's Pakistan, I guess.
Formerly.
It's
Yeah.
Pakistan.
Yeah.
You also from Bangladesh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Bangladesh was pretty happy with Trump. Bangladesh,
Really?
yeah, they
Why?
congratulated him.
Do you have any idea why?
Amongst the first.
Huh?
Amongst the first.
Amongst the first countries to congratulate Trump.
really?
So should be interesting. What do you guys think?
It's very interesting. I mean, if outsider won an election, really, it means that democracy worked in America, regardless.
Or it didn't.
If he is an insider and we just been played by these groups, we have no idea what's going on. But if he's an outsider and he won an election fair and square with all opposition, I mean, I really look at democracy as a good instrument still working in America. So that's what I see. Now, we don't know really what happened in the future. Will be Trump good for Americans? Will be Trump good for Canadians? Will be Trump good for anybody else? From Bangladesh, for example, on the Muslim
Probably not.
Yeah, we don't know. But as a people, we can do nothing. I mean, yeah, we can come on here and talk about it and yell and scream. Who cares? Do you think he cares?
No.
Which outlet are you guys with?
Huh?
Which outlet are you guys with?
We just have our
YouTube channel,
own, yeah, the small channel.
What's it called?
A good question.
This is a very good question. And you've got equipment you're going around. Which channel is it?
Can I subscribe to the channel or something?
Yeah, you'd like
You
to
give me your email about this.
Sure.
We'll need. Do you have anything?
I don't think I brought a pen.
You guys don't have a card or anything?
I will give a card.
That'd be good.
I'm a Christian myself, and I do street evangelism downtown here for 10 years.
Okay, so it's not
And
RT.
today,
Okay, you're not RT. Okay. We thought you might be RT or something. Russia Today.
no, sorry. I'll give you. No.
Are you with this group or is it a separate
No,
group?
okay. I can give you this my
Thank you very much.
email. So I talk to Muslims, I talk to other groups. So that's my main interest, as a matter of fact, it's religion.
Yeah, mine too. So yeah.
Okay. Then we'll switch from politics to religion if you don't mind.
Sure.
The question is, I have in my bag here the Torah. You know the Torah,
Yeah.
right? Do you think it's in the Hebrew, of course, and it's printed in Tel Aviv? Do you think it's Torah? Can we trust Torah? Has to be uncorrupted word of God. What do you think?
No, public.
No? No?
Not touching. Not touching.
No, you're not gonna say
What
it.
is in context of what? Can you trust the Torah? Is that the
Yeah,
question?
you trust Torah.
Depends on what aspects, how you mean trust.
Well, I
it
mean,
is.
the Quran, for example, word of God, right?
Depends on scholarly opinion. There's a lot of different views on authorship, different
Okay.
contributors,
All right.
different sources.
What do you think personally? Because
I think it's an amazing work. I think the Torah, the Gospels.
But you believe in God, right?
Yep.
Yeah, believe. So the Quran came from God. That's what you. What do you think the Torah was? It also came.
The cops are taking pictures. Yeah. That's.
Oh, that's
Who did Torah come from? I think God is a complicated concept, and there's many ways in which to understand it. In terms of where the Torah came from, or the Gospels, or the Quran, I think there's a lot of inspiration from different sources. But
difference.
I don't trust any human interpretation. That's very pretty. I like the cover.
So you
Fancy.
yeah, this old one. It's 1971 edition.